You've said it. Maybe you've even thought it today. These people are idiots. Your coworker who talks nonstop but never gets anything done. Your boss who only cares about results and never listens. Your partner who takes forever to make a decision. That friend who overanalyzes everything. They drive you crazy, and you're convinced something's wrong with them. But here's the truth. They're not idiots. They're just different from you. This is Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson, and it's based on a simple but powerful idea. There are four types of people, four colors, four completely different ways of seeing the world: red, yellow, green, blue. Each one communicates differently, thinks differently, works differently. And once you understand these four types, everything changes. Your frustrations make sense. Your conflicts dissolve. Your relationships improve. Because the problem was never them. The problem was that you were speaking different languages. And nobody taught you how to translate. Why everyone seems like an idiot. Thomas Erikson met a CEO named Sture, successful, wealthy, running a major company, and absolutely miserable. "I'm surrounded by idiots," Sture said. Erikson paused, then asked the obvious question. "But who hired all these idiots?" Sture went quiet. Because of course he did. He hired every single one of them. That conversation changed Erikson's life because he realized something profound. When you think everyone around you is an idiot, the problem isn't them, it's you. You don't understand them. Most of us do this. We divide people into two groups: people like us, who make sense, and everyone else who doesn't. But that's not how the world works. People aren't idiots. They're just wired differently. They process information differently. They communicate differently. They make decisions differently. And when you try to force everyone to think like you, of course it fails. Of course you're frustrated. You're trying to make everyone speak your language instead of learning theirs. This book teaches you the languages, all four of them. Chapter 1. Communication happens on the listener's terms. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Communication isn't about what you say, it's about what they hear. You can deliver the perfect message, clear, logical, well-intentioned, and the other person can completely misunderstand it. Not because they're stupid, but because they're listening through their own filter. Think about it. You say, "We need to move faster on this project." A red personality hears, "Finally, someone who gets it. Let's do this now." A yellow personality hears, "This sounds exciting. Let's brainstorm." A green personality hears, "Wait, what's the rush? Are we in trouble?" A blue personality hears, "Define faster. What's the timeline? What's the quality standard?" Same words. Four completely different interpretations. This is why communication fails. Not because people don't listen, but because they listen through their own lens, their own priorities, their own fears. If you want to communicate effectively, you have to speak to the listener, not to yourself, not to how you think they should hear it, but to how they actually process information. That's the foundation, and it changes everything. Chapter 2. The four colors: red, yellow, green, blue. The system is simple. Four personality types, four colors, each with distinct traits, strengths, and weaknesses. Red, the driver, direct, decisive, dominant. Reds are all about results. They don't waste time. They don't need reassurance. They see a problem, they solve it, fast. Reds are natural leaders, not because they want power, because they want control. They hate being told what to do. They trust themselves more than anyone else. Strengths, they get things done. They push teams forward. They make tough decisions without hesitation. Weaknesses, they can be blunt, impatient. They steamroll over others. They don't do feelings. And they intimidate people without even realizing it. Yellow, the influencer, optimistic, energetic, social. Yellows are the life of the party. They thrive on attention. They love people. They see possibilities everywhere. Yellows are creative, enthusiastic. They inspire others. They make work fun. They're the ones who turn boring meetings into brainstorming sessions. Strengths, they're persuasive, charismatic. They build relationships effortlessly. They motivate teams. Weaknesses, they're scattered. They talk too much. They promise more than they deliver. They lose focus. They avoid conflict. And they hate being alone. Green, the stabilizer. Calm, patient, supportive. Greens are the steady ones. They don't like change. They don't seek attention. They just want peace, harmony, predictability. Greens are loyal, dependable. They're the glue that holds teams together. They listen. They care. They remember what you said 3 weeks ago. Strengths, they're reliable, empathetic. They create safe environments. They de-escalate conflict. They follow through. Weaknesses, they're slow, stubborn. They resist change. They avoid confrontation even when it's necessary. And they hold grudges silently for years. Blue, the analyst, precise, analytical, perfectionistic. Blues live for details, facts, data, logic. They need to understand how everything works before they act. Blues are thorough, accurate. They catch mistakes everyone else misses. They set high standards. They don't cut corners. Strengths, they're competent, systematic. They produce quality work. They think deeply. They plan meticulously. Weaknesses, they're slow, critical. They overthink. They get paralyzed by analysis. They struggle with emotions. And they come across as cold or judgmental. 4 colors. 4 completely different operating systems. Chapter 3. How to communicate with each color. Now that you know the colors, here's how to actually talk to them. Communicating with reds. Be direct. Don't waste their time. Skip the small talk. Get to the point. Focus on results. What's the outcome? What's the bottom line? They don't care about feelings. They care about winning. Don't take their bluntness personally. They're not being rude. They're being efficient. And whatever you do, don't try to control them. Give them autonomy. Let them lead. That's when they shine. Communicating with yellows. Be enthusiastic. Match their energy. Show excitement. They feed off positivity. Let them talk. Yellows process out loud. Don't interrupt. Don't shut them down. Let them brainstorm. Make it fun. Yellows hate boring. If you want their attention, make it engaging, dynamic, colorful, but also pin them down. Get commitments. Follow up, because they'll forget. It's not intentional. It's just how they are. Communicating with greens. Be patient. Don't rush them. Greens need time to process, time to feel safe, time to trust. Show you care. Ask how they're doing. Really listen. Greens value relationships over results. Explain why. Change scares them. So give them context. Reassure them. Let them know nothing bad is happening. And don't pressure them for immediate answers. They'll give you a response, just not right now. Communicating with blues. Be precise. Bring data, facts, evidence. Blues don't trust feelings. They trust information. Give them details. The more the better. Blues want to understand everything before they commit. Respect their process. Don't push them to decide quickly. They need to analyze, to verify, to be absolutely sure. And don't take their questions as criticism. They're not attacking you. They're trying to understand. Chapter 4. Working with mixed colors. Here's where it gets real. Most people aren't just one color. They're a blend. 80% of people are a combination of 2 colors. Red-yellow, charismatic leaders, fast-moving, people-focused, but impulsive. Scattered, overwhelming. Red-blue, driven perfectionists, results-oriented, detail-focused, but cold, critical, impossible to please. Yellow-green, friendly supporters, social, caring, but indecisive. Conflict-avoidant, too focused on harmony. Green-blue, quiet analysts, stable, thorough, but slow, resistant to change, withdrawn. Understanding these combinations is where mastery happens, because real people are complex. They shift based on context, stress, environment. Your job isn't to label people and put them in boxes. It's to recognize patterns, to adapt, to meet them where they are. Chapter 5. Why This Matters. Real-life application. This isn't just theory. This is how you fix your relationships, your team, your life. At work, you're a red manager leading a green team. You keep pushing for faster results. They keep resisting. You think they're lazy? They think you're a tyrant. But now you know. They're not lazy. They need stability, clarity, reassurance. So you slow down. You explain. You give them time. And suddenly they perform. At home, you're a blue married to a yellow. You need order. They thrive in chaos. You plan everything. They wing it. You're constantly frustrated, but now you understand. They're not irresponsible. They're spontaneous. So you create structure for yourself, and you give them freedom to be themselves. Conflict drops. Connection grows. In conflict, you're arguing with a red. They're loud, direct, aggressive. You take it personally. You shut down, or you fight back. But now you realize it's not personal. They're just red. So you stay calm. You focus on solutions. You don't get emotional. And the argument ends faster. This system doesn't just help you understand others. It helps you understand yourself, your blind spots, your triggers, your strengths. And that self-awareness, that's freedom. You're not surrounded by idiots. You're surrounded by different colors, different ways of thinking, different communication styles. And once you see that, everything shifts. Your frustration fades. Your empathy grows. Your relationships improve. You stop trying to change people. You start adapting to them. You speak their language. You meet their needs. You work with their strengths instead of against them. Red, yellow, green, blue. 4 colors, 4 keys to unlocking every relationship in your life. So the next time someone drives you crazy, don't think, what an idiot. Think, what color are they? And how can I communicate with them better? That one shift, it changes everything.